Well, welcome everybody to another episode of Heat. My name is Botch, and in this episode, I've been kind of considering, well, what are we going to do in this episode? And I've still got the furnaces cooking upstairs. I'll go back up here and take a look. Real quick, they're still all fired up, and they've got quite a bit of time left, I think, 12 minutes to go. And I mean, even after that, that's not going to be done. I'm going to have to keep them going for a little while, which means more grinding wood. Nothing you want to see. I also have, I'll look out the window here and you can see I've got a couple of those fire pits started as well. Again, really just amounted to more wood chopping. In fact, my hatchet is almost broken, and I don't really want to make another stone hatchet. I mean, they're not super expensive, but I'm really looking forward to that iron one. So I thought, well, okay, what else can we do in the meantime? And I realized there's a couple of things that we could do while we're waiting for these things to happen. And the first thing I want to do is get a well started. So we talked about getting a well, getting that started kind of early on. It's going to take 15 timber and 25 thread, neither of which we have, nor do we have the capacity to make it. So we're going to buy it, which is fine. It's not too expensive to get these resources. We're going to be under materials. I think we said it was 15 and 25. 15 there, 25 there, 108 bucks. We've got 1600, so I think we're in good shape. I also wanted to show you what happens when you burn fat, because in the last episode I touched on how if you were to throw just one stick in the fire that's made mostly of wood, then it increases the temperature and gives you a better yield, right? So that's true, but and we saw that hay burns at a lower rate. So what about fat? You know, this fat is decaying on us, so it's going to spoil in 4 more days. I don't really have any other use for it, so let's experiment a little bit. Sticks burning at 716. We'll just peel off, well, let's peel off just one fat and throw that on there and see what happens. 932. So that's cool, but here's the kicker. Watch what happens. Wood and hay and all these other materials, that's producing charcoal, which is the whole reason why we have these burn pits, is to start, producing some charcoal that we're going to need later on. But as you can see, fat doesn't produce charcoal. Fat produces sulfur, which, we're going to need that too, but I mean, you've seen in all the previous episodes how sulfur, kind of a dime a dozen. We're getting a lot of that just from day-to-day grinding. So I'm not too keen on accumulating a bunch of sulfur. I'm just probably going to sell it early on anyways. I'm going to go ahead and burn that off just for the sake of why not. But it's actually, no, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I am going to throw that last fat in the fire because I don't want to carry it around with me. But then I'm just going to replace it with a stick. Because I don't want sulfur. At the end of the day, I want charcoal. That's what I'm going for. So bring that back down. I just wanted to demonstrate that in case anybody was curious. I mean, later on when we actually want sulfur, that might come in handy, especially as we're, farming, killing animals, or maybe if we have a bit of a ranch started and we can harvest that. But not going to do us a lot of good right now, so we'll stick to the plan. Let's go ahead and see. So I got a little more iron and copper left over. Starting to build up my orange supply a little bit. We still have these 2 treasure maps to look forward to at some future date. So then I thought, okay, well, after we build the well, what else can we do? So let's get the well started first, then I'll let you in on that little secret next. So, see, the well is built on the workbench. Right there. There we go. 4 minutes. All right. So while we're waiting for that, let me just let you in on the plan. In this game, you can run for political office. So I mentioned this in a previous episode, where you can run for president here in Washington, and president can control certain things, like they can name the country, they can control the tax rate. They get some goodies, right? You get a staff of NPCs, you get a couple guns, some clothes, I think there's some money. Sometimes when items are in the lost and found, you can take those. So there's some perks and benefits, and then on certain servers, when you're playing with other players, that can be kind of a hotly contested, coveted spot. So there's that. There's Tombstone over here, and we'll make a trip at some point so we can kind of see both places. But Tombstone, you can become the sheriff. I honestly don't really know what the huge benefit of being the sheriff is, other than the stuff that you get from it, right? So you're going to get a salary of $25 a week, I think. Let me see. I think it says that in, where does it say that? Here, right? Party? I don't remember. I know I saw it somewhere. Here we are. There we are. Yep, party. Or communication, social. Yeah, there we go. So, see, so sales and property tax rates are at 0, because why charge myself money? And then sheriff payroll is $25. That's maxed out. So if I wanted to make $25, I'm guessing that's a week. I really honestly don't know. Maybe it's a month, which would even be worse. Money's money, but it's not that much money. It's not a big deal. So, but you'll also get like a horse and a saddle and a shotgun, a couple other goodies there too. So not a bad deal. And then the last one, there's 2 more. There is the Indian Chief down here in Sakeo. It has been a long while since I went and became the Indian Chief. And I don't remember everything that you get from that. I do remember getting some bone tools. So early on, if you need a bone hatchet, or a bone axe or something like that, that might be a good option to go that route. But it's probably the least popular one in my experience. And then I save what we're going to do for last. We're going to become governor. So here at the Cottonwood Plantation, there's the governor's mansion. If I go down there, I can just become the governor. Governor doesn't have a salary. He does get some clothes, get some weapons, gets a horse, and also gets a watering can and some seeds. I mean, it's a Cottonwood Plantation, so I guess that kind of makes sense. So after we get the well built, we'll head on down to the cotton plantation and become governor. So let's get our job done here, and then we'll make our trip. How are we doing on that? 35 seconds left. That's pretty good. So that's on its way. Let's go ahead and just going to sell off a little extra stuff while we're waiting. $2, alright. Let's see here. I do want to pop that geode at some point, but we don't need to go right this minute. 2 seconds. It's never quite accurate, right? Because there was 2 seconds right there, and then you got a few more seconds to go, so it'll be done when it's done, I guess. But this will be handy because no more trips, long trips to that river and back. We can just pop out there and get a drink anytime we need to. And that watering can is going to come in handy because when we eventually plant crops, be able to water the crops. You know, until we can afford to get the sprinklers set up, that's going to be super handy. It's not the best ironing can in the world, but it's better than what we have, and we'll probably get multiple ones so that you know, we don't have to keep running back and forth to the well. Wow, that's a long last second. It's a little bit longer than I expected. Let's work on it. Alright. Anyway, as soon as that's done, we'll grab that, set that down, and get that started. I want to take a look briefly and see what does it take to upgrade it, just so we can get that kind of cooking too, if it's not too much. Wow, come on. It's gonna pop as soon as I like stop looking at it. Alright. A watched well never boils, I guess. I don't know. Never actually produces. Come on, let's go. Alright. So let's see. Let's think about where we want to place this. So we have our flag here, right? And that's just kind of, for lack of a better place to put it. And I want to do this field across the street. I'm gonna try to do that entire field there as all one big, you know, plot of land for this. So maybe we could put it like here on the corner. We put the well, but I think that might look weird. What else can we do? Maybe just right in front of the house, like right here next to this step. That might be nice. Let's do that. Let's put it there. Grab that. Wow, okay. Guess I'm glad I didn't sit here and stare at it for this time. You can kind of hear it if you listen real close. You can hear it kind of tick, 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 tick. Okay, we finally got it. Alright. Okay, so yeah, those timers are definitely broken, that's for sure, so don't put too much stock in those. Okay, so I'll kind of get it center. That looks alright. Let's put it right there. Alright, so I cleared off all that little grass there underneath it, that's cool. So that looks pretty nice, but we can also upgrade it. We can upgrade the well. We need 2 cement mix and 6 iron ingots. And we have some iron cooking upstairs, but probably that fire's probably burnt out by now. And that'll produce only 50. That'll produce 50 gallons. I'm not even sure what the this well produces, but we definitely want to upgrade 2 cement and what was it? 6 iron ingots. What would that cost us if we were to buy it? Well, let's just see. It would probably be under materials. There's cement. Ooh. Okay, so already, you know, 180 bucks for the cement, and then here's iron ingots. That's an investment. We're gonna have the iron soon enough. We'll probably buy the cement mix because, frankly, I don't even know how to make cement mix, and we won't have it anytime soon. Let's see if we actually, maybe we've scrapped together. Yeah, we've scrapped together enough iron already between these smelters. So we need 6. Let's just grab these and these. Let's just leave 2 on there. Okay, there's our 6 iron. That's done. Well, we'll go ahead and buy the cement because, again, I'm not even sure how to make that offhand. Let's see. It's going to be materials. We said 2 of those. So once that's here, that'll give us, that'll get our well upgrading. After that, I think it takes steel to upgrade it to the next level, which we will eventually do, but steel is awfully expensive. We just don't need it to be that big yet, so I'm not going to worry about it. Figured I might as well pop this while we're waiting for the cement to arrive. And I want to try to keep all of these fires going, you know, in the future, which is going to, again, just mean a lot of grinding down the timber or the wood for that. But I'm kind of hoping to get the iron tools made before I have to do that much grinding, because that'll save a lot of effort. Alright. Level up 21. I didn't even realize we were moving along so well. So that means anything at this tier or above we can get, right? So we can eventually unlock all of this stuff here, and that's true on really all of these tabs, which is a lot. We're not going to do that anytime soon, but we'll work towards it. Okay. How much is this? 75 bucks? Might as well just sell it. Not bad. 67 bucks after taxes. That's okay. See, so there's still taxes in the game. It's just like you can raise them if you want to. Okay, so let's go ahead and get that started. That's upgrading. I don't know how long that's going to take. I'm not going to wait for it. So it'll be probably upgraded by the time we get back. Let's start running. Okay, so here up on the right is a bandit camp. We're going to get as close as we can and try really hard not to die. But I'll probably have to run for it because, see, if I kept along this road, they definitely see me and start shooting at me. Let's see if we can spot one just so you can see what it looks like without getting seen. So, okay, so you can see the bandit standing there in front of his little tent. I don't see any others. Is it just that one guy? Alright, I'm gonna run by. Yeah, it's just one dude. Okay, well, and he's not shooting at me yet, so I'm not gonna stick around and wait for him to do that. Look at that beautiful lake. Ooh, and a waterfall too. I didn't even see that. You see that? Alright, let's go up here. That's nice. Bandits in this game. First of all, look how flat this land spot is, right? I'm going to go back here just a second to show you. It's super flat land, right? They've got a waterfall and a beautiful lake across the street. The bandits have the best real estate in the entire game. I'm so jealous of that. I wish there was a way to remove them so you could use that spot, but I don't believe there is. Cruise control back on. Let's see how far we've got. Oh, we've got a distance. So I'm going to pause this because this is a run, and I'll when we get there, I'll show you around. So I'll see you in a few. All right, we should be getting pretty darn close now. Stop to grab a blue gemstone node on the way. And look at this. I don't know if you can see that from here, but there's a nice little covered bridge there in the distance, so it's kind of nice. Yeah, I've never really understood the purpose of covered bridges. Like, I mean, you're gonna get wet on either side of it, but inside you're covered. I don't know. So here's the grounds for the governor's mansion. So there's that governor's mansion there in the distance. So it's a pretty big property. And it's got all this nice grass kind of lining the path. So we'll go up to the mansion. It'd be kind of neat to build a house that looks like this. I mean, I don't think you could pull off the staircases, but the marble looks similar to this. So I don't see why you couldn't do something, close. And right now, if you go up to the door, and you try to open it, it's locked. Can't open it. Okay. So we go upstairs, and here we see the governor's rocking chair. Alright, so if we sit here, let me hold it, sit in the chair, and all you gotta do is sit in the chair, and sit here long enough, and you become the governor. That's all there is to it. So in a few seconds here, we'll be, we'll be pronounced the governor of of America, I guess. And then we'll be able to go in there and get some goodies. Politics were simpler back then, you know. Apparently. Alright. So there's Botched is now the governor. So we'll stand up. Hold the stand up. Okay. So now we can go inside. Go. And the place is pretty much empty, right? You can look around. All these rooms. I've looked around before. There's all these empty rooms. I think you can move in. I've never really tried to like place something. I didn't think to bring anything we could place. If you've ever done that, you know, maybe leave a comment in you know, in the video to say whether or not that's possible. I just never tried. Never occurred to me to try. Especially because, you know, somebody could take over, right? So somebody just come sit in the chair, they become governor instead. So I don't know how useful that would be. Alright, so we have the governor's box of antiquities, and then we have the governor's provisions box. Let's open the provisions box first. It's smaller. Alright, so we get governor outfit. We get some seeds. Let's go ahead and grab those. Why just 48? Why not 50? I don't know. Saddle, take that. I'm going to take the gloves just because it's a little extra cold resistance, but I don't really want the outfit because the outfit, I just don't like the outfit, you know. I mean, I'll try it on so you can see it, but I'm not going to keep it. Same thing with the fancy cigarettes. My character doesn't smoke. We get an iron hoe. I'd kind of forgotten about that, but that'll be useful, and an iron rake, which again is going to be super useful. So if I remember that, I would have done that sooner so I could show you the path, but we'll do that maybe in a future video. And then there's that iron watering can. So not super advanced things, you know, steel and some of the other stuff is better. And eventually you'll get like sprinklers, so the watering can will be useless, but you know, it's a good starting. It's good starting items. And since we're not really competing with anybody, I figure why not. So let's try on our governor's outfit just to see what it looks like here. Alright. So I mean, that's not bad, right? I mean, I like my helmet better for the light purposes. So I mean, and the only reason it has that X over it is it's just dirty. It needs to be washed. I don't quite know what that does. I think it just reduces the effectiveness. See, because cleanliness is 0%. So I don't know if that matters. It never really bothered me too much, to be perfectly honest. I never pay attention to it. Alright, and there's nothing in this box, so I guess kind of anticlimactic. There's that sunstone that I picked up when we got when I stopped for that gemstone node. But we got what we came for. Which is the seeds and the saddle and all that. I'm not going to keep I'm going to put the outfit back because I just don't see using it. And put my cowboy hat. And I don't want to store it, right? So I might as well store it here. Everything else, I'm just going to leave it all behind. Alright. So we got that saddle. Alright, we might be thinking, what am I going to do with a saddle? Well, we're going to ride a horse. This horse is now your horse because you're the governor. So if you stop being the governor, I'm pretty sure it stops becoming your horse. So bear that in mind before you store a bunch of valuables on it. But we got to equip the saddle. We're going to give it, I'm just going to give it some food and water to start. We'll give it some more later. I think that's a good start. Okay. And we'll saddle up. Now you can write it in first person like this, or if you press C, you can write it in third person, I guess, which is what I prefer to do. I just feel like it's a little easier to handle. You can kind of see it move the way it moves. So yeah, it doesn't turn on a dime exactly, right? So that's helpful. If you're in first person, let me put it in first person again, and trying to do that. I mean, it's not bad, right? But it's a little bit harder to control, I feel like, anyways. What do you think? Actually, this isn't so bad. I'm gonna, you know what, I'm gonna stick with this. This actually isn't as bad as I remembered. I think the bear is definitely much harder to control. We'll definitely do that in a future episode. Maybe I'll go down and become president just to show. Like I'll probably go and do all of them just to kind of show what they're like. You'll notice that I did not get a weapon this time around. I'm pretty sure all of them, but this one gives you a weapon. So that's something to keep in mind if you're looking for a weapon. But I wanted the seeds and stuff, the watering can and tools and stuff were really my goal. Alright. Well, I got a long ride back. It's the same ride, you know, back as it is here. It's really just the galloping sound is the only thing you get. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it, you know, at that point. If you haven't already done so, I'm gonna remind you now's a great time to, you know, click the like button. Let me know I'm doing a good job. Subscribe if you haven't already. Come back and watch some more episodes as they come out and become available. Thank you so much for watching the video. It means a lot to me, and I'll see you in the next one.